Just a quick disclaimer, folks. This was supposed to be a complete full installation walkthrough, and I thought I was recording in the beginning of it, and I wasn't. I am deeply sorry. I am going to do my best to show screenshots of what you should be looking for at certain points. So please forgive me. And if it brings you any joy, that means that for about the first 15 minutes, I was talking to myself. Okay? Anyway, on to the video. Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. This is another episode of Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020, and today we're going to check something out here. If you guys come to this website, msfsaddons.org, and go to extras and reference, in that section there will be a guide on how to maximize FPS performance for Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020, and we're going to check that out today. Okay, and as well as a couple other tips and tricks that I've discovered recently that you guys might find interesting. First thing is, over the weekend, I finally got tired of juggling files around and moving storage from one to the other, and long story short, I have two 960 EVO SSDs from when they first came out, and they were only 256 gig each, so it was time to move up. So I upgraded to Crucial's P1 1TB NVMe M.2s, and I noticed a significant performance increase. Now, performance meaning, so far I haven't experienced really any stuttering without making any of the changes to the executable like we did before. And the load times are also significantly faster. Now, I want to emphasize I'm not telling everyone to go out and buy brand new M.2s and NVMEs and all that good stuff. What I am trying to do is give you something to think about. How old is your hardware? Okay. In my case, I got my old Samsung 960s when the M.2s were really first starting to roll out. Okay. I mean, I remember these things were, like I said, only 256 gigs, and they were probably close to $200 when I bought them each. And where now those two 1 terabytes were $100 each, by the way, on Amazon for United States peoples. Again, Crucial P1 1 terabyte, $107 each, I think is what they are. They're on sale, so if you're in the market, now's the time. But anyway, I'm not telling you to go out and buy them, because there's a bunch of other factors that come into play when you talk about this kind of thing. First off is, one of them was my OS drive. So obviously I had to completely reinstall Windows. This is a brand new fresh install on a brand new fresh hard drive with no previous software ever put on it prior to. So no fragmentation. Third-party applications obviously are minimal at the moment, as all I've done is reinstall the necessities, but as time goes on, you find new things, you install them, you start playing around with them, right? And, install, uninstall, install, uninstall, all those things affect hard drive performance, SSD or otherwise. So something to think about there. But I just wanted to make sure that you guys were aware of it, as I did absolutely notice a performance increase. Absolutely, 100%. There's no doubt about it in my mind. I haven't ran the FPS counter, and I don't know that I'm going to see a significant FPS gain, but I noticed a significant gain in smoothness, if you will. There wasn't really any choppiness. Even the load time of the terrain, for those of you I'm sure who have experienced anything we all do, when you first load in, you get that choppiness. I still got a little bit of it, but very, very minimal. And we'll see some of that here in a minute. So I did want to make sure you guys were aware of that. The other thing I wanted to make sure you guys were aware of is during the installation, you get to a point. So first, you buy the game, right? You hit install. Okay, once it installs, you hit launch. Okay, whether that be from Steam or from the MSFS store, whatever, or Microsoft store, whatever it may be. Okay, but you launch it. Once you launch it, then it asks you to pick a package directory. Okay, and most of us in general, probably pick the default. Okay, it's C, users, app data, whatever. Okay, so let me see if I can find that real quick. Okay, so I was able to find it. It's this screen right here. Okay, now this is not the default directory. So when you get to this screen, I want you guys to browse to a different location. Pick a location that you create. You want to create the folder, wherever it may be. And like this guy put MSFS Final. I put MSF Packages, I think. And I'll show you my directory here in a minute. But pick somewhere that has a lot of space, because this is also going to be the same directory where all of your future content is going to be installed. Whether it be aircraft, terrain, guarantee it's going to go into this directory. Okay, do not use the default. Two reasons. Number one, it's on your C drive. And if you have multiple hard drives, you want to try to avoid installing anything on your OS drive. You want to try to keep your OS drive as clean as possible. Okay, it does affect performance. Okay, not a whole lot in the beginning, but as you continually do it, it will absolutely start slowing things down a little bit. Okay. Secondly, is by default, the app data directory is hidden. And a lot of the folders within inside the app data directory are protected. Okay, meaning that you may try to access it. I know some people have experienced already where you go to access the packages directory and it tells you don't have the proper permissions to do so. Okay, and unfortunately, for those of you who have already installed it on the C drive, my recommendation, honestly, and I know you're going to hate me and probably cringe at the sound of this, and you probably already know what's coming, my recommendation is to uninstall and reinstall. And reinstall in a directory of your choosing, that way you already have the permissions to it. The reason why you'll already have the permissions to it is because it is a folder that has been created by you, the user. Okay, so it's not a system folder. App data is a system folder. Okay, and just it'll save you a bunch of headaches. It really will, and it will save you space later on. You know, having everything as third-party applications, like I said, and third-party products start to come out, and new aircraft come out, and updates, whatnot. It's going to save you some headache later on down the road if you have it on your C drive. Okay, now if your C drive is your only drive, I would still recommend picking a different location on the C drive than what it defaults to. Okay, pick something much simpler and get it out of that app data directory. There are still files that will install in the app data directory, for example, like the executable, which I'll show you guys in just a minute on how to rectify. So if we go into our, in my case, it was the applications here. Okay, this is wherever you installed the base install. Okay, so this is before we get here. This is the actual installation drive. So when you first purchase Microsoft Flight Simulator and asks you where do you want to install it, this is the drive I picked. Okay, so this is not what we're talking about here. This is something when right at the beginning. Okay, you'll find this folder here. This is where the installation files exist. Okay, like the executable. And what some of you may experience when you try to open that is you get a permissions denied or an access denied. Now I'm gonna try to do my best to walk you guys through this as I've already done it. But what you're gonna do, goodness, is come down here and go to Properties. You're going to go to Security. You're going to go to Advanced. And what you're interested in is this thing right here. I believe it will say Unknown Owner by default. You want to hit Change. You want to type the username that you are currently logged in with. Okay? And now what you can do to find out is you can right-click on your taskbar, go to Task Manager. Let's bring it over here. Go to Users, and this username is what you're looking for. So in my case, it's obviously Overkill. Okay, and you would just type in here, Overkill, hit Check Names, and then hit OK. All right, and that should give you access, all the access that you need to that folder to at least get down to the, and it will ask if you want to change ownership, of all these subdirectories. That will pop up after you hit OK. You tell it yes, okay? Basically, the default setting is what you want to select. And then you can come here and go to Microsoft Flight Simulator, and you'll be able to get down to the, where is it? Executable to make these settings. Now, I did finally make these settings, guys. I know I told you a second ago I didn't. I did do it after the fact, okay? Because I was just in here. So you still want to do disable full screen optimization. You still want to change your high DPI scaling override and let the application take control of that, okay? And it just makes it run even smoother. So if any of you guys have been having that problem, let me know if you're still having trouble with it, and I'll see if I can't reverse all this and figure out a way to show you guys how it is in its default state. Okay, maybe I can fire up a VM and install it or something. But anyway, so let me know if you guys are still struggling with this portion after that, because I know it's been a point of contention for a lot of people. All right, so now let's go ahead and let me close all this, and let's start going through this guide. So here from the website, I selected the guide. You just click on it. You can click on it here in the full screen, excuse me. Gosh. Sorry, my mouse is tripping out. Give me a second. Okay. Had a fuzz on it. All right, so you click here on the full screen, and it will bring you to this page, in which case you can download it if you want, but I'm not worried about that. I've zoomed it in a little bit. First, it just starts out telling you what the goals of it are and the tips and tricks that come to it, and that it's in constant development, which is fantastic. Then it go through how to update your graphics cards. It's got both NVIDIA and AMD, so it's got something for everybody. And you always want to do the step 3, installing clean. Okay, and the same thing up here. And the reason why is because, just like anything else, okay, when you patch on top of software over and over again, think of it as dirty laundry gets left behind, and just can, not always, but sometimes cause problems. I always do a clean install when I do mine. And basically what clean install does is it wipes the current driver and then installs a new one as if it was a fresh install, more or less. Okay. Then the next thing we want to do is, if we minimize our web browser here, and this is for NVIDIA users, go to NVIDIA control panel. Now, a lot of people will want to use these program settings, which you can identify a specific program to, set your settings for. Gosh, I'm sorry, guys. It's already, I feel like it should be Friday. And adding it manually is a pain in the butt. I haven't figured out a way to do it, but basically what you should be able to do is the most recent used software. So launch Flight Simulator, run it for a little bit, close it, then come in here and go to program settings, go to add, and you should be able to find the most recent use. So we're looking for Microsoft Flight Simulator. And then we're going to find 2 settings specifically. Now I'm in the process of doing a bunch of testing with all this, but I'm not ready to set anything up yet. So these are the default settings, so don't copy these. But you want power management mode. You want to prefer maximum performance. And then the next one is quality. And again, you want to set as high performance. Okay? Because we all know it looks gorgeous as is. You don't need that extra pushing. Okay? And then we're just going to hit apply. And now every time that Microsoft Flight Simulator is detected as running, these settings will take effect. Okay? And that's all we're going to worry about inside NVIDIA settings for right now. All right, so next, let's go ahead and take a look at what we got going on next. So, adjusting the Windows settings. So, this is, I think, still controversial. Contrary to popular belief, game mode actually has benefits to those using Microsoft Flight Simulator on a Windows 10 PC. By switching this setting to on, it will prioritize and allocate resources, GPU and CPU power, etc., on your PC running the game or simulator. All right, now, I'm still very skeptical, okay, but we're going to go ahead and try it. So let's go ahead and we're going to just hit my start menu here, and we're going to start typing game mode. All right, and we're going to go ahead and turn it on. Lord help us. Now, you still want to come into captures. Make sure capturing is turned off. Record audio, record the background while I'm playing a game. Turn those off. All right, and then the game mode here obviously is enabled. Check our captures. We're good. Xbox game bar. I don't like the game bar, so I'm going to still disable that. Well, actually, we'll go to graphics settings here. Hardware accelerated GPU scheduling. Reduce latency to improve performance. You'll need to restart your PC to have the changes take effect. So we are going to switch that to on. Okay. Now, we will reset the PC here in just a second. And I showed you guys captures. You want to make sure you turn that off. We just set that. And then setting the priority. So let's go ahead and stop here for a moment. I'm going to reboot, and we'll come back and take a look at the rest. Okay. So we are back. So we've gone ahead and activated the game bar. We've hit our accelerated GPU settings. We've set our NVIDIA control panel. And there's the hardware accelerated scheduling. We wanted that on. Okay. And we want... And that is the other thing, by the way, right there. You do need to make sure that your Windows 10 version is up to date at version 2004 or above. If not, you will not have this available to you. Okay, so if you can't find that GPU scheduling, your Windows 10 is out of date. Okay, go to your Windows Update settings. So anyone who doesn't know to force it, you can again hit Start menu, start typing Windows Update settings. And you can already see there's already one waiting for me. But here's another version of it. So this is another KB. So for Windows 2004. But basically you just go to Windows Update, and this would say check now or check updates. and you would click that and it should bring up the current update package. I'll deal with that one later. Okay. So, and then the next thing we're going to be dealing with when we're actually in the sim. So before that, what I'm going to show you guys is, now let's talk about the liveries. A lot of people had problems with the liveries even after I did that previous video. So let's walk through that while we're here. Here we go. So I'm going to go ahead and come here. Let's go back to our store or our add-on. And let's go to liveries. All right. So we obviously want the, let's see what we got. Mega Pack version 7, 154 liveries across 11 aircraft. That is freaking phenomenal. So let's go ahead and go to this one here. And let's see what we got in here. Wow, this is amazing. 747 got American Airlines. That's awesome. That's new from last time I looked at this. CJ4, that's kind of cool. C172 got a couple. Got a pink one. Watch out. The TBM, neat. Okay, that's awesome. I know it sounds retarded. I know A320. Pacific Southwest. Is that what I think it is? That's not Southwest. Damn it. I know. Southwest Airlines doesn't have an A320 in their fleet, but we don't have a 737, do we? So what can I say? I'm partial Southwest, and honestly, I have no idea why, because I've flown everybody, and they're all the same when it comes down to it. But anyway, so first off, by the way, big shout out to all of the team who is responsible for making these liveries. They're absolutely awesome. Oh, shut up. So let's go ahead and get these installed. So first thing, let's do it is download it, do it to it. So we're just going to grab that, give that a minute to install. While it's doing that, let's go ahead and take a look at the installation instructions. So we need to be in packages and community, which is going to be really simple because of the way we did our... so I'm going to bring up another one of these. And by the way, if you ever want to bring up a second one, you just hold shift and click your file explorer and the second one will pop up. So let's go into our apps. And here's my MSFF's 2020 packages. I created this folder. Okay, so this is what I was talking about setting that folder somewhere other than the default. So we're going to want to go to community. There's nothing in there yet, as expected. And we're just going to wait just a second for that download to complete, and then we'll keep moving. Okay, so we have our download, and guys, this is why perfect example right already of why I said to make sure that you create your own location for packages, and make sure it's somewhere with a lot of space. So you can see that this is already almost a gig. Okay, it's 800 megs compressed. Okay, a zip file, any kind of archive like that, for any of you who aren't familiar with this, that means it's compressed. We've taken something and shrunk it down. Basically, think of it as taking a large blanket and shoving it down into a box for shipping. But when you open that box, it bursts out all over the place, and it's 10 times the size of the box, right? That's basically what we're doing when we zip and archive something. So what we want to do here... Oh, I don't have 7-zip on here. That's a sin. All right, we're going to hit extract all and users downloads. Yep, that's fine. So we're just going to hit extract. And it's going to take a minute, and we're going to see how much bigger the new file size is. All right, so now we have it extracted. 4 gigs, almost 4 gigs just for those liveries, just for the skins, okay? Just for these aircraft to look cooler. All right, so again, find somewhere with a lot of space, guys, to make your packages directory. But notice that we didn't have to go digging through the app data folders and worry about permissions and anything like that because we already created the directory. So now all we got to do is we're going to open this up, grab these guys, okay, and these are the credits. I do want to post these. Okay, so thank you to every single one of these guys and gals who have put the effort in to make this possible. I do want to make sure I'm giving them credit as much as I can on our channel here. So I just want to scroll through these real quick. Thank you guys all very much. All right, and then we're just going to take these guys, we're going to grab them, and drop them right over here into our packages community folder. Okay. All right. So we are done there. We're done here. You know what the other thing we'll do? Just because I know it's a new hot and crazy thing. Let's go ahead and take a look at the A320. So here's our A320. Let's go ahead and hit the read more button. And let's go ahead and click here to download. This is an upgraded version of the A320 that's being worked on by another team. Much similar to the Zibo 737 for X-Plane 11. That turned out to be fantastic. Again, thank you to everyone who's working hard on this. That is so freaking awesome. But again, let's do the same thing. Click here to download. All right, looks like that downloaded a lot faster. So let's bring up our... Oops. Helps if I hit the right folders. What's going on here? Oh, I probably closed one. All right, let's bring that up. There we go. All right, so let's go back in here. Back in here. And we can even double check. So here it is, packages, official, and we're going into community instead. So again, community. We're going to find the Airbus. We're going to hit extract. Okay, so it extracted already. Make sure there's nothing else in it. And I think what we want is the A32NX. Let's go ahead and grab that and drop it in. And let's see what we get. So that should be everything. We're going to close out now. And close our browsers. And we're going to leave this open because we want to see what settings it recommends. I'm going to move it off screen for a second. I'll bring it over when we're ready. And I'll start the sim and see you guys in a second. Alright, so now we're in the sim. Let's go ahead and see how everything turned out for us. See if we have anything we need to address. By the way, I did pick up the Cessna 182 last night, and I will be doing a review on that, or first thoughts I should say, later this evening, so be on the lookout for that as well. Alright, so first let's go to our airliners. Let's check out our Airbus. Let's go to liveries. All right, we have all of our liveries. That is crazy. Look at this. Oh, that black one's pretty cool. So let's go to our propellers. Let's find... Where's our... You know what? Let's go turboprops. That'll be easier. All right, let's find... There you go. Nice. So a few liveries for the TBM. So it looks like everything installed. Great. We can go back real quick. I keep doing that. I don't know why. Let's go to propellers. Let's find our Cessna. She's going to be... Actually, here, let's just do this. Make our lives easier. 172. And again, liveries. Uh-oh. Was it only for one? There they are. Okay, cool. So it's the G1000 suite is one that has the liveries for it. Which I'm kind of bummed about, but I'm not going to be greedy. I'm sure there's a way to switch that around, but hey, what the heck, right? Okay, so all the liveries are installed. The next thing, let's go ahead and check while we're here. Let's make sure that the A320 is right. So you can see that the ECAS page or ECAM pages appear to be working. These are part of the development that came with the add-on that we added. Like, for example, the doors page was not available. So it looks like the add-on did work well. So we'll go ahead and test that in a later review when we start learning how to fly this bad boy. Let's go ahead and take a look at our livery and see how it looks since we're here. Looks great. Still don't know how I feel about the jet turbines, the turbine fans, but is what it is. The PBR looks great. The reflections are amazing. Okay, so that brings us into the next portion of this. Alright, so here we are in the Cessna 172. We're sitting out at Tucson International Airport. And let's go ahead and bring up our frame rate counter. And how we're going to do that is go to Developers, turn Developer Mode on, apply and save, come up here to Options, and hit Display FPS. Alright, so let's go back into the aircraft. Let's go ahead and get airborne for a minute. Kick that off. Release the parking brake. Check everything else is golden. Strobe are set. Taxi's off. Okay, we're ready to roll. Let's get out of here. Should be a full mixture for takeoff. Probably have a pretty good crosswind today. The weather's pretty crappy out there, honestly. Airspeed alive. There's 60 knots. Let's do this real quick. Now that we're up, let's go to general. These are the default settings, whatever it installed with. So let's just go straight to ultra, apply. And we'll give it a second to re-render everything. That's to be expected. Alright, so at full ultra, it's not really liking that. I want to try to get over the city a bit more so we can see some contour here. Let me get the, there we go, camera view up. There we go. Oh, there we go. So we finally stabilized. Gosh, that's pretty. Alright, so this is full ultra, guys. I'm at 34, 35 frames per second, stable. More than enough to enjoy the sim. Look at those mountain ranges, look at the clouds. Although it looks like I turned to the wrong direction. It's not the way I wanted to go. I wanted to go towards the city, and I turned away from it. Hey, look, guys, there's Tucson. Okay, so now that we're coming over the city here, so now let's start working through this dock. So what we're going to do now is compare what we have here to what we have at the end of it and how everything looks. So let's burn the beauty into our minds. Okay, and let's see what we get coming through out of the dock. So we're going to go to general, and we're going to see what it gives us here. So first thing, let's go object level of detail. We're fine there. We know that's at 100. That's at the default. Texture super sampling. Okay, so we recommend 4x4, setting no higher, even if your GPU has loads of RAM. All right, so that's the first thing we're going to do is find our... Oops, there we go. All right, and we want 4x4. Okay, let's keep moving here. Shadow maps. Now we can see a comparison between 2048 and 768. So really not a whole lot. Sharper edges, a little bit more detail, but this is one of those situations where this almost looks more realistic, not gonna lie. So let's go ahead and see what happens. So what that one was, sorry, shadow maps. Let's find shadow maps. There they are. And so maybe let's at least go down to 1024. I'll meet them in the middle there. Okay. Well, no, I guess that doesn't make sense. Let's do it by the book. All right. We're here to test what they've got. So 768. Anti-aliasing. All right. So we are leaving that as TAA, so we're fine there. Water waves, recommend using medium settings. Unless you intend doing a lot of water-based flying, then putting this setting to medium will improve performance and have little to no impact on your flying experience. So it's said by numerous testers, especially when flying at altitude. So again, in the interest of following the dock, water waves, set that to medium. All right, next one is depth of field. All right, we recommend using medium or high, GPU dependent. All right, so let's see what our depth of field is set to right now. Ultra, so let's go ahead and go to high. We do have a high powered system here. And make sure I'm not missing anything. Water waves, depth of field. So now we're going to come down to other settings to consider. Bloom. So here's bloom on, here's bloom off. So, okay. Saw a minor increase in performance, but our testers did miss the visual effect. Yeah, I think we'll leave bloom on. Reflections, same thing. Let's see here. Trees. Turning this to see gave out texture, small performance, boost little, no changes visually. So high tree settings, medium tree settings. All right, let's go to medium. Where's our tree settings? Anybody see those? Oh, there we go. So let's go to medium. Texture synthesis. Turning this to medium helped and a few extra FPS our performance in intense areas such as New York. So let's go ahead and set that down to medium for now. VSync, yes, keep VSync off. Let's go up and make sure it is off. HDR10, that's new. This is a new setting. I have not seen this before. Interesting. Huh. Oh, maybe not. I'm looking at the wrong area. Sorry, this is VSync. Maybe I'm retarded. Oh, hey. I didn't even notice this. So, I thought these were already set to 100. So, let's go back up here for a second. Let's compare the details. So, terrain level of detail, here's 100 and 200. So, we talked about that one. So, let's go ahead and bring that down to 100. Terrain level of detail. Okay. And I know it was the same thing for objects level of detail. And I'll show you what it looks like in the dock. So here's our terrain level, and here's the object level. Like, I mean, yeah, there's, if you guys can see a major difference between those two photos, then your eyes are better than mine, because I can't. All right, let's keep on going down. VSync, this is just the start. All right, so they're going to keep on configuring this guide and working on it as we go along. So just a couple of quick things. Let's see what we got. Let's go to apply. And let's see what we get when we come back into the sim. And we'll give it a second to render, just like we did before. So I gained virtually nothing. About the same performance. No visual changes that I can detect here. But if we picked up a couple of frames or things are a little bit easier to render, I guess that supports the theory altogether. So I don't notice any visual changes. I think it all looks just as great as it did before. But anyway, guys, so that is a complete start to finish installation of Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020 minus the beginning. And again, I'm so sorry. I hope you guys caught the things that I needed you to catch. Make sure to change the location of the packages before you click the button that says update or continue. It will be, again, immediately after when you launch the sim for the first time, you will get that option to change that directory. If you have not already, I do recommend uninstalling and reinstalling in a directory of your choosing, so that way you don't have to deal with the permissions nonsense when attempting to go into those directories, as you're going to be in them pretty frequently as you start doing add-ons. As always, guys, leave questions and comments below. And I'm here to help, guys. Let me know what I can do. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Hope you guys found some valuable information. And I hope the SSDs gave you guys something to think about. I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care, folks.